Welcome back everyone to the channel, and today we got a special review for you guys. Now, I know it's been a long wait, but it's finally here. We finally got another review. Now, with that being said, this specific anime was requested by one of my followers on Instagram. And this particular anime we are talking about is Parasite, the maximum. Maximum. I sort of butchered the name at the end, but it's called Parasite, the maximum. But yeah, let's get into the review. But first, before that, Chico, hit explosions on them. Now, let's jump straight into the review. So, we start off with this school, this high schooler named Shinichi. You know, he's like a regular, everyday high schooler, but one day, well, one particular night, these parasites that came from space, out of nowhere, starts infecting people. They start infecting people at night, and what these parasites do is they either crawl into your mouth or crawl into your nose or your ears to try and get to your brain. And once they get to your brain, they completely take over your whole body. So basically, they kill you. You're not the same person anymore. You're actually the parasite. So once you become the parasite, you take on all of his traits and everything because they basically you now. So what they do is they basically man eaters. They eat people, but they do it. Some of them do it smartly. They basically like serial killers. Like you'll never know if you're talking to a parasite because they take on your whole personality and everything. Your facial expressions, everything. Now some of them act like zombies, so you could probably be able to tell when something is off. But what they do is they get you by yourself and they just eat you. And then you just end up dead. Now, certain parasites, like the one that affected Shinichi, when they enter your body and if they fail to take over your brain, then they take over that specific body part. So in Shinichi's case, the parasite, which he named Migi, one night tried to infect him and tried to take over his brain, but it failed. It actually took over his right hand, I believe. And once it took over his hand, it basically had full control of his hand. And this particular parasite was able to communicate with Shinichi, like speak. Because what it did was, once it infected him, it started reading and learning the dictionary and stuff like that. And it was able to communicate with Shinichi. Now, Shinichi, of course, he was freaking out and stuff. You wake up one morning and, your hand is reading a book or something like that. And it could disconnect from you and all types of stuff. But Migi also gives Shinichi like super abilities, like super speed, strength, all with that right arm he took over. So Shinichi could basically gives him abilities and stuff like that with that right arm. So he could, let's say a baseball, the average person could throw far, but not that far. He could throw farther than the average person. He can punch through a wall and stuff like that with that right arm. But anyways, parasites like that that take over a specific body part and fail to take over the brain, they develop like a mutual sort of like a mutual agreement between the human and parasite, where it's like they talk to each other and stuff like that. So Shinichi found out about Migi and named him Migi, actually. And Migi basically, these parasites, they don't know where they come from or anything like that. But one thing is clear, they get hungry. They I'll say, like zombies. Like, they eat people, basically. The ones who took over a full body, like took over the brain and stuff like that, those are the ones that actually eats people. The ones that take over a specific body part, like an arm or a leg, they don't need to eat people. They actually feed off the nutrients from the body. Like, whatever you eat, they also, feed off it. So they don't need to eat people. But yeah, so we get to Shinichi, he finds out about Migi, and Migi tells him there's other parasites out there, basically running around like psychopaths, killing, eating people. And in this society, they unaware of what's going on. But the higher ups start to get aware of what's going on, and like higher ups always do, they try to hide it from the public. And so they hide in every bit of evidence of these parasites from the public. And these parasites, they eating people in alleys, they slaughtering student kids, and you got one parasite. Actually, you got multiple parasites that can take over one body and become one, which is this character called Goto or Gotu. He's a parasite that can control other parasites and become one, which makes the host a lot stronger overall. Like, for instance, with Shinichi, it's only his right arm that's like that. And also, Migi also gives him, a bit of abilities too, like running faster and stuff. But Goto, he's like the apex of all the parasites in this anime.